Hi, my name is Hans Kruger. This is Module 5, Understanding My Community. I teach at Davenport Central High School in Davenport, Iowa. Um, Knowing our customs and traditions, I think, is very important. Athletically, our mascot is the Blue Devil. We also compete with the largest schools in the state of Iowa, which is 4A. We are a one-for-one technology school. Every student in the school is given a Chromebook, which helps us technology-wise. We are partnered up with two programs that help quite a bit and help separate us from other schools within the community. One is Gear Up Iowa. The other is our Creative Arts Academy. We also have a very engaged Blue Devil Athletic Foundation, which does a lot of fundraising and community support. We have a very large student population, which is involved in band and show choir. And within the 3 high schools in Davenport, we offer the most advanced placement classes. Our population characteristics within our school, our graduation rate is 88%. 50+% of our students are on free and reduced lunch. We also have a quarter of our student population is involved in athletics. Our community of Davenport has a population of 103,000. Within the Quad City metro area, we have just under 400,000. We have a pretty diverse student population, about 55% of our students being white, right around 19% being African American, and right around 14% being Hispanic. So gives us a pretty diverse student population to work with. Our communication channels, we do have a school website, a district website as well. Our school uses Twitter and Facebook. A lot of our programs do the same. So there are individual accounts for Twitter and Facebook as well for the different programs. We have a mass text messaging and mass email system. We also have a separate phone messaging system for emergencies and special events. We also use a program called Infinite Campus for our grade book and our attendance. And that program sends out auto messages to the families, say if a kid didn't show up for class. So it's a good communication tool as well. Cancellation delays are posted on our website, but also local media websites. As staff are encouraged to communicate with families via phone first, and then secondary is email. Community groups. We have quite a few community groups that try to be engaged with the school. Churches and local nonprofit agencies do things for us in the building, but they also do a lot of stuff outside the building, not connected with the school. Within the school, we have several gang intervention groups that come in and do lectures and some hands-on things with our students trying to be a deterrent. We also have political groups. We have 10 alder persons within the city of Davenport that try to advocate for education as well. Knowing our leadership, we have an interim superintendent right now. There is a national search underway. We also we have a principal for the last 3 years that has done a great job leading by example and has a really strong educational background as well. Activities director, he's also the Iowa Regional Athletic Director. He has been a very visible leader and seems to do a pretty good job as well. We also have several teacher leaders in the building, and their task is to help be pretty proactive about staff development. Our characteristics of our leaders within the building and outside the building, the ones that I have dealt with, kind of all have the same characteristics for the most part. They're visible, they're good communicators, and they seem to lead with the student's best interest in mind. I've been fortunate enough to be around leaders that have some pretty quality characteristics. Academic economic conditions at Davenport and the Quad Cities, we have a very low unemployment rate of just under 4%, which is good. We do have a community poverty rate around 12%. I've also attached a link to a pretty decent summary of the region's economics. Our political structure, fairly balanced in Davenport, but we are on the Iowa-Illinois border. So Iowa and Illinois seems to vary pretty dramatically in its political views. So I'd say within Davenport, it's fairly similar, but within the area, it's pretty different. We also were fortunate enough to pass the second 1-cent sales tax for education in Davenport, which will be tremendously helpful. Social tensions, very little interracial confrontation, which is good, but we do have quite a bit of a gang presence, several gangs at Central, and there seems to be 1 to 2 major conflicts a year that comes from gang involvement. Discrimination, we had a state audit that found the percentage of minorities that are receiving discipline referrals and the percentage of minorities in special education is too high. So we've gone through some training with the state and training with some outside entities to help rectify some of that. We do have some low socioeconomic issues. We are an inner city school, so there is quite a bit of that. We do have our own food bank within the school as well, and some other programs similar to that. Open enrollment also creates some social tension issues. If you are a Davenport resident, you can choose to go to any 3 of the high schools, which we really got to track gang issues and some other problematic issues like that within the district, not only within the school. Extra sources of information, websites that are very helpful, our website at Davenport Central, Davenport Schools website. The city of Davenport has quite a bit of information on it. And also all of the school board minutes are posted within the Davenport School District website as well. Power structures within the Davenport School and within Davenport Central seem to be pretty appropriate. But we've had some significant funding issues over the course of the last few years, which has created a lot of shuffling of administrators because when administrator retires, sometimes that position is not filled. So it creates a lot of shuffling of administrators, which have created some positives and some negatives within the district. Multicultural issues, like I said earlier with the state audit, we have done quite a bit of training in the last few years to help us address some of those issues. Knowing our power structures, the school board and superintendent and administrators have done a few things that have created some controversy within that structure. But the power structure is there and it works pretty good most of the time. When it doesn't, it usually is revolved around funds. Measuring public opinion. The Davenport School District has some dedicated resources that gauge public opinion and perception. So within our administrative department in the district, there are staff that do surveys and public outreach for the district and try to gauge public opinion on those things. We also do that through parent-teacher conferences. We do have surveys that are school-specific and surveys that are district-specific. We also have questionnaires that are school-specific on academics